Welcome back to MCOC AlBundyRules, everybody. I'm doing something I don't think I've ever done. I'm actually redoing a video based on feedback I got from part 1. So this is the rematch, Magik versus Pyslocke. So this is based on 3 criteria. This video is not intended to show who's best, just a simple, tangible challenge. People subjectively say who better, who's best, blah, blah, blah. This is some tangible items. So each round is going to be judged on the same 3 criteria that I use on the first matchup. I'm also using the same fights as far as for Pyslocke based on this first one. So people don't scream shenanigans if they're all over the place. So, but these are brand new synergy ones. So number 1, total of hits to KO the defender is going to be one criteria, as I am showing the full synergy team. This is the synergy team chosen by the critics of the first video. I'm doing a full synergy team just for one synergy, a total of time to KO defender. So, and number of specials defender use. So each round, after each of the 3 rounds, we will see and compare each of those. And then so I'm showing the full synergies, so there's no shenanigans claimed about Magik on these fights, and so she got a full synergy team. For the Pyslocke, all that's really used for her is the horseman apocalypse, horseman of the apocalypse synergy with it activated, and that one synergy for the most part against an entire Magik synergy team handpicked by the biggest critics. So there wasn't much negative feedback on my channel, a couple comments. Most of the negativity, pretty elevated by some people's levels, was on the Facebook group. As some of you know, I moderate a Marvel Contest of Champions Facebook group, and pretty large group. I think we got like 60-something thousand members in that group. And in this video, first one that became kind of controversial on there. So there was a lot of people. I strongly believe it's just because people just see Magik. She's been considered a top champ for so many years in the game. People just blindly like her. Pyslocke has always been considered a very bad champ in the game, and people just blindly, negatively hate her. Most of the negativity comments on the Facebook video site were people who admitted they didn't even watch the video. They didn't have to because they knew. But their comments showed they didn't know how to properly use Pyslocke. So I took all the feedback I got. Okay, I'm trying to make this as humanly fair as possible. I gave Magik an entire full synergy team. I showed the full synergy team. I'm even playing her slightly different based on some feedback. I was asked to try to get the defender up to a bar of power before using the special, but I'm also making sure, so I'm doing my best to do that as well, but I also have to ensure that I get off the S2 before the S3. So playing her as requested with the full synergy team requested. Again, I cannot stress this enough. My goal is not to say that Pyslocke is better than Magik. Okay, that's not my goal. My goal is not to say Pyslocke is a top OP best champ in the game. Okay, that's not my goal. So here we saw this took 2 minutes 4 seconds, 124 hits, and 1 special used. We will see, for those of you who watched the original versus battle between these two from a couple days ago, we'll see there were some significant improvements. However, we will see the synergy I'm using for Pyslocke there, the horseman. You will see why it's so good. Once I get that permanent power lock on, her damage skyrockets, okay? That's what goes on. Keep the permanent power lock, which she does without any synergies, by the way. And then her damage goes up with the horseman synergy from Apocalypse, a little bonus when it's being activated, which makes her so good. And again, the reason why I'm really using Magik as a comparison, because anytime I kind of talked about Magik for quite a while, to include before Apocalypse Synergy came out, and people always compare her to Magik. Say, oh, Magik's better. And then when you talk about their power control, which they're both amazing power control, 2 of the best in the game, and whoever does slightly better is going to go fight by fight, a lot by AI. Pyslocke might come out ahead once, Magik might come out ahead once, they might tie a lot. So it's going to vary. They're both amazing at power lockers. But the argument's always been, oh, Magik hits harder, Pyslocke hits like a wet noodle. Then when I start showing Pyslocke doesn't hit like a wet noodle, then people start saying, oh, Magik still hits harder. And that you will see those comments in my previous videos. This is why I specifically picked Magik for this video. Not to try to say she's better, but for some reason, anytime I've done videos on Pyslocke in the past, Magik is always the one people always scream in comparison on, subjectively, of course. So let's see Psylocke numbers here. 1 minute 25 seconds, 80 hits, 2 specials used. So again, I'm using the same videos I used in round 1 for Psylocke, which is the Horseman synergy against a full synergy team are the new fights of Magik. To compare them together, because I could have changed this and give Psylocke a whole new full synergy team and made these numbers way better, but it wasn't needed. So round 1 winner, so like 39 seconds faster than Magik, 44 less hits than Magik, but Magik won the special. She did 1 less special allowed. That was mostly because of the passive AI being done on Winter Soldier. But so be it, split decision, but Psylocke won. Magik did get 1 up on the power control. Both had amazing 2-1 on that. Hits and time was a pretty clear winner there. Again, that video is with Magik having an entire full synergy team. Her best synergy team, as based on what was told to me by the community who were screaming shenanigans on part 1. On the synergy for Magik. So I have heard your complaints. I have heard your feedback. I have complied to your feedback. And the only other argument after this video would be say, okay, don't use synergies. The entire game is synergies. Okay, the synergies are there for a reason. An extremely high percentage of YouTube videos you're ever going to watch of highlights, content, anything, I'd say 90 some odd percent is going to include synergies. You can't reasonably expect synergies to be excluded from there. And I had Magik synergies on the first video too, but I didn't have them hand-picked because I don't use Magik that much, so I never used to with synergy teams. So based on community feedback, that is where I came up with her ideal synergy team based on several people said the same individuals. Again, these were for the first 3 fights of ROL. So if you're asking, hey, ramp up Professor X first, you're welcome to. For his Cerebral charges, if you want to do the first 3 fights with Professor X to win in ROL, and then the 4th fights do the matchup, you're welcome to. That is a lot more time and energy that's needed. And Psylocke has that same synergy ability to get that, so it would not be fair to only give one champion a synergy that both have access to. Just like if Magik had Horseman synergy available, I would have it activated for her. She doesn't because she's not a mutant. At least, and there would be no bonuses for like Psylocke. Psylocke doesn't get good from just the Horseman. She gets it from the bonuses of the synergies with Apocalypse. So time here, 1 minute 52 seconds. Hits 131. Defender specials used, only 1. Some good AI there. So great power control. Pretty good, respectable overall. So now in round 2, so part 2 in round 2, we will see Psylocke fighting the Captain Marvel. Classic. We will see again, Horseman of Apocalypse is going to be activated. The main synergy against Magik's full synergy team. And again, a real part of this video is trying to give a little love to Psylocke. And when you say, oh, she's not good without synergy, she is. She doesn't hit anywhere near as hard. I've liked her way before the synergy and had videos on her way before synergy. However, don't be double standards about it, because a lot of the people who are the first ones to scream about Psylocke needing the Apocalypse synergy are ones who were R3 6-star cables. Okay, so don't be double standard. Or they're the ones who do an entire synergy team for Thing to run his crazy playstyle to get that. That's part of the game, okay? That's part of the game. You can't just exclude parts of the game to choose or try to support biased opinions. So if my first video was not intended to be biased, and when I was filming, I didn't expect it to be that one-sided. Perfectly honest, I had no clue, but there is an amount of work on these videos. However, based on the demand, I heard you all. I try to keep it as fair as humanly possible. And the main goal, again, is just to show she's better than she gets credit for. Again, I am using the same fights for Psylocke for the first video, just to avoid the temptation of giving her a full synergy team like I did for Magik, because it would be way better numbers for Psylocke if I actually did a full synergy team other than just the Apocalypse, but it's not needed. And that's not the goal. Just one person makes her this good. So in this time, 1 minute 41 seconds, 96 hits to a KO. Keep in mind, these are 550,000 health pools, and 3 defender specials were done mainly because of a mistake I made in that fight, but so be it. It's around 2 winners. Pyslocke 11 seconds faster. Pretty close on the time there. But Pyslocke 35 less hits, which is a good amount less hits. 2 less specials used on Magik. So Magik clearly won the power part. The other one, Pyslocke won. So another split decision. But Pyslocke does win round 2 as we are looking at tangible, factual information. I'm doing everything humanly possible to make this as fair as possible. If you think there's anything else, I'm not doing a second rematch on this, by the way, because I took all the feedback everybody said and put it in here. So if you all want to keep arguing and want to make videos to show contrary as fair as possible, go for it. Yes, I do know also will acknowledge previously that the Pyslocke is an R2, 6-star, Magik is an R5. However, Magik Sig is about 60 something higher, 60 or 70 something higher than Pyslocke, which gives her an advantage there. Additionally, the difference between an R5 5-star and an R2 6-star is approximately 10-ish%, okay? Approximately 10-ish%. So don't say, oh, if I was doing like using an R3 5-star Magik, then yeah, that would be some shenanigans. There is such a little difference between an R5 5-star and an R2 6-star. If Pyslocke was an R3 6-star, again, that wouldn't be fair. But this is extremely similar. I would happily use both at the same star level if I had them both at the same star level in an appropriate thing. Fortunately, my Pyslocke 5-star is an R1 unduped 5-star, and I would never rank her up because I already have an R2, potentially consider an R3 in my 6-star Pyslocke. So that will be a waste of resources in that case when I already have what I need at a higher star level. And we will see Magik playing well again with that requested synergy team by the community. I agree. Gives her a lot more bang for the buck. Of course, I would never bring an entire synergy team for one champ. One reason I don't really use Thing. He really needs an entire synergy team. So he never off defense for me. That's one of my rank up regrets. I've always been see all these highlights and think how amazing he is. Then you realize he needs an entire 5-person synergy team at near death and all that crazy stuff. And that's again why I don't like tier lists and consider them biased, because it's just not generally the most realistic situation and my personal preferences. And if you like Magik better, if you consider her more fun, or you like her class level or whatever it is, I respect that. Absolutely. I'm not trying to make you like Pyslocke more. I'm not trying to say she's better. Nothing. I'm just showing, hey, she's better than she gets credit for. Champs like Cable can get bumped way up on tier lists based on them being considered horrible before with synergies, so why can't she? So we had 2 minutes 12 seconds here, 147 hits, 2 defender specials used in this fight of round 3. So let's get part 2 of round 3. Pyslocke against Juggernaut here. Again, the fight used from part 1 to go against the new fights of this versus battle. Again, with just that horseman synergy activated here. But there was a lot of screams about not a fair fight because Magik didn't have a full synergy team, which wasn't true. But again, I did have a full synergy team, but just not ideal. Me, again, not knowing what the ideal was for Magik, admittedly, but I fixed that based on your all feedback. And, of course, I know there's going to be people still saying all kinds of things, and I know a lot of them aren't even going to watch the video, or probably never made it to this part of the video if they watched even more than a few seconds of it, and that's where bias come into place. And a lot of people have it. There's conscious, there's unconscious bias. It's part of life. But I took a quantitative, non-subjective method with 3 clearly established tangibles that I can clearly show. And I demonstrated to see what she can do. And 3 widely recognized show how good at power control is why I'm counting the specials, show how hard they hit by why I'm counting the hits, and then show how time, because that plays a role too. Because somebody like Quake, it could do the fight in 0 hits, but might take like 15 minutes. That's kind of a I don't consider that a valid point on things. So that's why I consider time a large variable as well, because of chance they can kind of exploit their other means. So that's why these come into play. See some good damage going on there. And it's really about kind of showing a little bit what you can do, kind of trying to spread some awareness. And I'm hoping this get some awareness. If not, I showed it. So this was 1 minute 55 seconds for this Juggernaut 550-ish thousand health pool, give or take 83 hits. So let's see the winner of round 3. Psylocke 17 seconds faster, 64 less hits, way less hits on Psylocke there, and 1 less special out by Psylocke. So Psylocke actually won that round for round as far as a clean sweep, including on the specials. Again, it could go either way with them. It really depends on AI a lot. Final challenge thoughts. This is a simple challenge on 3 measurable criteria I can measure, not designed to say who is better. Magik is known to be great. Psylocke is known to be not so great. Both champs have amazing power control, but can vary based on aggression of AI. Both have their uses, but based on criticism of first versus match, Magik was given full synergy, chosen by the critics, who said it wasn't fair. So synergies are part of the game and can't be ignored. Magik did way better this time with synergy team, but overall the results did not change. They was way closer each round, no doubt about it. Results didn't change. Again, I'm not saying Psylocke better, but I'm saying she is much better than she gets credit for. Cable gets credit as an elite champ with the 1 synergy. Why can't Psylocke get a little bit of love? Hope you enjoy the video. Don't forget to subscribe to MCOC AlBundyRules.